Ram is read, he is always there. He takes a special pride in listening to the glories of Prabhu Shri Ram. And when Shri Ram was about to leave earth, he was ready to go with Shri Ram. He never wants to be separated from Shri Ram. But Shri Ram gave a special instruction that he should remain here and to represent him and to continue the work that he has been doing. So let us first invoke the presence of Sri Hanuman. Aiye Hanumanta virajiye
कथा कहो मति अनुसार
प्रेम सहित गदी
पटाए पवन कुमार
सियावर रामचंद्र की
जय शरणम शंकर हरिओम।
प्रेम से बोलो पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय। This doha is taken from Laukush Katha of Sri Ramchandra. Very beautiful. This is what they said. Chiranjeev. Chiranjeev is a special kind of blessings. It's like one of the topmost blessings that one can get. Chiranjeev sutta raha hutama jabalagi ravi sasises. He tells Hanuman, Hanuman, I want you to remain. You live, O son, as long as the sun, the moon, and the serpent king endure. As long as the earth exists, as long as the moon and the sun exist, he says, you remain here, son. Chiranjeev, and he gave him that blessing. He said, Tuhi se vatamiti hahi sakal dustara katin klish. He says, that person who will serve you shall find all his greatest pains and sorrows destroyed. And Sri Hanuman removes our pains. Wherever he is, his energy is so profound that that presence alone causes the removal of all difficulties and pains. So Sri Ram gave him that blessings. And shall we address him? My son. So I thought I should share this with you this morning. And now we revert back to our regular schedule, taken from the first chapter of Sri Ramcharitmanas, Balkan. And just to recap for you what we did last week. Parvati realizes that both her parents were distressed. They knew that she had to go, but she knew that she had to comfort them in some way. And she expressed to them a certain vision that she had, a dream. A great and noble, very handsome Brahman came and told her that she must follow the path and go and perform your pujan, your sacrifice. He indicated to her that everything is a sacrifice, and they use a tapabal. Tapabal means the power of sacrifice. It says it's by the power, that sacrifice of penance. It is by the penance of sacrifice that Brahma creates this universe. It is by the power of penance that Lord Vishnu sustains and keeps up the universe. It is by the power of penance that Lord Chandra reabsorbs, annihilates and reabsorbs this universe. And it is by the power of penance that the serpent god supports the burden of the earth. And I explained to you that everything that we do is based upon a certain kind of penance. This morning we made that penance, that in spite of the weather, no matter how cold it was, freezing, we made that sacrifice and come so that we can sit down and glorify the beautiful name of our divine Lord. So everything that we do is a sacrifice. The work that we perform in order to acquire money, to buy our food and our comforts, that is a sacrifice we make. We brave the storms, the weather condition, whatever it is, in order, no matter how difficult the work is, no matter what problems we face, what difficulties in terms of human relations at the job, we forego all that for the purpose. We sacrifice so that at the end of the week, or month, or fortnight, we can acquire some wealth so as to take care of our physical and whatever needs that we have. So she tells them that this is a dream that she had and that she has to go and perform the sacrifice. And as she left, there was a great sage by the name of Vedasira. He came and he realizes that everybody is a bit, distraught, and he began to tell them about the Mahima. The Mahima is the greatness of Mother Parvati. And when they heard of the greatest Mother Parvati, they were all cooled down, so to speak. Parvati went on her way to perform her penance. And I begin this morning from that point. In Chopai Tusila sings. Ur is the heart. Uradhari Uma. Uma refers to Mother Parvati. Pranapati Charana. Pranapati means the Lord of my life. And who is the Lord of our life? Lord Shankara. Pranapati Charana means the feet. So the feet of the Lord of my life. So he says, Uradhari Uma Pranapati Charana Jai Vipina Lagi Tapukadana. She cherished, she invoked that blessing, and she cherished in her heart the feet of her dear Lord Shankara. And Jai Vipin Lagi Tapukadana. And she went in the forest and she began to practice some penance. Now, a very important lesson here. She's going to perform a penance. She's not thinking, what kind of problems I will meet, how difficult this will be. I have been accustomed in my home, in the comfort of my home. Here I'm going to the forest to perform penance. Will I be able to make it? She never, those things were totally absent from her mind. But what was present in the mind? Pranapati Chadana, the feet of my beloved Lord. And when we are about to perform a task, forget everything. Keep your mind focused on the task itself. That makes it easy. When we are troubled by all the fringes that we think about, we pay so much attention to the non-essential things, the things that are not important, and we tend to forget the most important thing, which is the task ahead. So she gave us a very important lesson there. Ati sukumara natanu tapajogu patipada sumiri tajevu sab bhogu. Again, a feedback there.
You're picking up some radio station. Stop now.
So, Ati Sukumara Natanu Tapajogu. Ati Sukumara means that her frame was not, her body then, frame means body, was not meant for this stringent type of tapasya. Though her body was not made for this stringent type of tapasya, this austerity, Patipada Sumirita Jehu Sabatu. Patipad means the feet of our Lord. She abandoned all delights. She forgot home. She forgot her friends. She forgot her parents, everybody, and fixed her mind on Patipad, Sumiri. Sumiri means to meditate upon. Patipad is the feet. So she's meditating upon the feet of, that is all that her vision encapsulates. Only the feet of the Lord, nothing else. And that's what made her job easier. Not the fringes of family and friends, and that was never there. Her mind was fully focused upon the feet of our beloved Lord. Because she went for one purpose, in order to receive his blessings, and Lord Shankar must become her pati, her husband. Before she died, she said, in whatever birth I am, I'm asking, this is my prayer, that whatever birth I take subsequent as, I want always to be the wife of beloved Shankara. He must be my pati, my husband. So she went all out to recapture the divine Lord, to bring him back. And at times in life, we might be seen to be separated because of our attitudes and behaviors and so on. But there is always the redeeming factor that we can redeem ourselves and recapture that situation. That is in essence what Parvati, the message she's given out. So these lines are very, very important. Even though they're little lines, small, there's so much depth in it. And if you don't capture that, you will lose the full essence of the katha. So enjoy by Tulsidas sings. Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Nitya Nava Charana Upaja Anuraga. Isari Dehat Mahi Manulaga. Samvat Sahas Mool Phal Khaye. Sagu Khaye Sat Parash Gavaye. Nitya Nava Charana Upaja Anuraga. Bisari deha tapahi manu laga. Tulsidas is describing this nature of a devotion to his fellow sadhus. And the northern banks of the river Sarju, spreading across the shade of the banyan tree, Sant Tulsidas is seated, and all his devotees are there listening to him with rapt attention to every word that emanates from his lips. And at the same time, this same katha was told by Lord Shankara to Mother Parvati. And this same katha also was delivered by Kar Bosundaji to Gaduji Maharaj. And Bhardwaj also related the same katha to Yagnaval, or Yagnaval to Bhardwaj. So as Tulsidas is explaining this, all his attendants, all his devotees are listening with rapt attention, absorbing every word that emanates from his lips. He says, Nitana vacharana upaja anuraga bisari deha tapahi manulaga. That her devotion to Shiva's feet presented a new phase every day. That new phase in no way took away from her devotion. That new phase caused her devotion to go even higher and higher. Each day she saw something more, that I must give in my extra 100% to this devotion. Each day she made her devotion even more lively, more beautiful, more courageous. And Bisari deha tapahi manulaga. And she got so absorbed in penance that she took no heed of her body. During this period of time, as she engaged in tapasya, her body began to lose its luster. It became skeletal. Imagine she's scarcely eating, and we hear the kind of fast that she was performing. And because of that, when we fast for 1 week, we figure, you lose so much weight. But she's fasting for so many years, we'll be told how many years. And not in the type of food that she's accustomed to. So in this way, the body content would deteriorate faster, the physical body. So she knows that, but she's not mindful of her body. My body is not important. Do we come here for the sake of our body, of our clothes? We come here for one special purpose, that is devotion to our beloved Lord in all his manifestations. And for her, the feet of our Lord, Pati Charan, the feet of our beloved Lord, was the goal, not her body. So in pursuit of spiritual truth and spiritual development, we don't think of the body. If you think of the body, you will never go into that. If you say, well, I wouldn't fast, I will lose weight, I will lose my body, I will look so nice. You wouldn't be involved in that. So she forego all that. My body, my friends, my personality, that is of no consequence. What is of consequence to me is Pati Charana, the feet of my Lord. And that's another lesson. When we come here, or wherever we are, the focal point of everything in us must be to the feet of the divine. Because we are what we are because of him. Some people have all the wealth and strength and power, and in a matter of a split second, you lose your health and you become nothing. You're unable to, people get stroke. We witness all that. And then you can't do nothing. You get the cancer, and your body, which was so flourishing and everything, in a month's time, it deteriorates so completely, you can't believe that was the person. So whatever we are is because of the divine. Mother Parvati tells us that there's only one focus to make, and that is on the feet of the divine. Everything else is on the fringes, cannot contribute to our health, to our wealth, to nothing. Because in any event, this body will deteriorate completely one day. But something is sustained, and that is our devotion. That will always be there. Regardless of time, of place, of consequence, devotion will always be there to support us. So he's saying, her delicate frame began to waste away because of the austerities that she was performing. Pati pada sumiri tajeu saba. Yet she abandoned all the lights and fixed her mind on Pati Pad, the feet of her Lord. She knew what was happening, but that was of no consequence. What was of consequence was the feet of the Lord. Pati Pad Sumiri. Sumiri is to think deeply of, to meditate on. So she's meditating on the feet of the Lord, Lord Shankara. Chaupai Tulsidas sings. Oh, I went off to the left, please. Samvata Sahasa Mula Palakai. Now it tells us that Samvat Sahas Mula Palakai. For 1,000 years she lived on roots and fruits alone. For 1,000 years on roots and fruits alone. And if we fast for one day of fruits, we begin to boast and say, no, today I didn't eat any salt at all. I don't eat fruits. Think of that situation. For 1,000 years she lived only on roots and fruits. Mool Pal. And then Sagukai Sat Barsh Gawai. And then for another 100 years she lived on Sagu. Sagu is vegetables. Think of that kind of sacrifice. And if you are engaged in that sacrifice, obviously the body will deteriorate. So in Chaupai, Tulsidas sings. Batasa Kiye Kathin Kachudin Upavasa. We are told here that for some days her only sustenance was water and air. Meaning she had nothing to eat, only water and air. That's what she lived on. So this is what her penance and sacrifice was based upon, in order to acquire the divine. You see the kind of penance she went through. For some days, her only sustenance was water and air. And for a few days, Kiye Kathin Kachudin Upavasa. She observed more strict fasts. The word Kathin means very difficult. So more strict fast. So she decided to forego everything in order to acquire the divine. And you see, that is the hallmark of a great devotee. A devotee never loses sight of the goal. This is it, this is what I want, and I shall give everything to work towards acquiring that. If I were to acquire that, then my devotions and penance is successful. If I didn't acquire the goal I set forth myself, then I have wasted my time. That is the importance of that. So she observed very strict fasts, air, water, and sometimes stricter. So more strict fasts would be either no water or no air. Sometimes I wonder, how could she exist without air? Because of our spiritual development, one is able to control the quantity of air that you breathe. That's the power of penance and sacrifice. Of spiritual development, the yogis are able to control the breath. They would go, one was submerged in water for 28 days. Now water can't penetrate there. But they had the power that air cannot penetrate there. They had the power to control that breath in that 28 days underwater. So that's the power of the yogis. So when she says stricter fast, we have to understand. If we were told in the beginning that she lived only on air and water, and then she observed a stricter fast, meaning was either one of these was suspended. We have to interpret that. We have to understand that. And then it says, Sabasahas, no, Bhola mahipare sukhai, tini sahas samvat suikai. Tulsidas says, for 3,000 years, she maintained herself on dry leaves, bare leaves that fell to the ground. She never then picked the bay leaf to eat. The bay leaf that fell from the tree and was on the ground, that's what she lived on. She take that and lived on. I know bay leaf is synonymous with Lord Shankara. And she wants to get the feet of Lord Shankara. She wants to get Lord Shankara. So that is the extent of her penance. Now, having seen that kind of penance, the Lord is observing that. Lord Brahma is observing. All the Devgans are observing this special penance that she is performing. What was the response of Brahma? Tulsidas tells us in this chaupai.
Jaya Ram, Rama Jaya Jaya Ram, Rama Jaya Jaya Rama.
Puni parihare sukhane uparna. Uma namu tava bhayu aparna. Tulsidas says that she gave up eating dry leaves. She gave up that one. So that is not a strict fast that she had to do. She gave up eating dry leaves, and so she came to acquire this name Aparna. Aparna means leafless. And because she stopped eating, she was called Aparna. Aparna means leafless. So she gave up that. So when you say leafless, you know that Parvati gave up eating leaves. And she was called Aparna. Dekhi umahita pakin hasarira brahmagiri bhai gagan gambhira. Seeing her body so emaciated, so thin, so skeletal-like, because of her abstinence, Brahmagira bhai gagan gambhira. Brahma's voice thundered from the heaven. It resounded through the heaven. That voice came. Why did it come? He saw the extent and the magnificent effort she's making in terms of this penance. She noticed that her body is wasted away. She is skeletal-like. And he, from the heaven, seeing and witnessing this, his voice thundered. What did it say? That is told us in this Doha.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram.